Thunder rumbles outside, the capital sleeps, but inside the presidential palace, every light is on. A storm brews both in the sky and inside the corridors of power. Ibrahim Traore copyright stands before a large map of Africa. His military jacket glows faintly under the dim light. His face is calm, but his eyes carry fire. Advisor: Mr. President, a broken bar. The French military command refuses to withdraw. They say they will review your order. Traoré copyright turns slowly, voice cold but steady. Traoré copyright: then they did not hear me clearly. Tell them again. They have 48 hours to leave Burkina copyright soil. The advisor swallows hard. 48 hours, sir? Traoré copyright: 48 hours. Not a minute more. The room falls silent. Outside, lightning flashes, a symbol of what's about to come. Scene 2. A flashback. A year earlier, a younger Traoré copyright walks among farmers in a dusty village. Children run barefoot, women carry buckets, men work in silence. The soil is rich, but the people are poor. An old man approaches him. Old man, they say the French take the gold, the cotton, even the air we breathe. What do they leave us? Traoré copyright looks down. They leave us dependency, he whispers. But that ends now. The crowd looks at him, uncertain but hopeful. Old man, who will stand for us, my son? Traoré copyright raises his fist slowly. We will. The people cheer, unaware that this young captain would soon shake the foundations of the West African order. Scene 3. The coup and the rise of a new leader. The year is 2022. The streets of Ouagadougou explode with noise. Armored vehicles roll through the capital. Soldiers chant, "Down with corruption, down with France." A radio broadcast crackles. Greater than the military has taken control. A broken bar led by Captain Ibrahim Traore copyright, age 34, one of the youngest leaders in Africa. Crowds flood the streets waving Burkina copyright flags. The air smells of hope and rebellion. Reporter, voiceover: France's hold over its former colonies is being challenged by a new generation, and Ibrahim Traore copyright has become its symbol. Scene 4. A French embassy. 2 days later, inside the heavily guarded compound, French officials gather nervously. The ambassador slams his fist on the table. Ambassador, he cannot expel our troops. We have a defense agreement. Military attaché copyright, sir, the people are on his side. If we push back, there could be riots. Ambassador, let them riot. France will not bow to child in uniform. Unbeknownst to them, the child in uniform had already decided to end decades of humiliation. Scene 5. A presidential address. Live on national TV. The camera pans across the packed press hall. Reporters whisper as Traoré copyright walks to the podium. He places both hands on the microphone. The entire nation listens. Traoré copyright: greater than for 60 years, our land has been drained, our people exploited, our future controlled from afar. Today, that era ends. I give the French forces stationed in Burkina Faso 48 hours to leave. This is not a request. This is a decision of a free nation. Gasps echo in the hall. The crowd outside erupts into chants. Greater than Africa. Africa. In Paris, the news hits like a thunderbolt. Scene 6. A Paris, Elysée copyright Palace. President Macron stands by the window, staring out at the rain. Macron, he gave us 48 hours. Is he insane? His advisor responds carefully. Advisor, sir, public opinion in West Africa is turning. If we resist, we may lose the entire Sahel. Macron, he wants to humiliate France, but we will not let a boy dictate terms. The advisor hesitates. He's not just a boy anymore, sir. He's a symbol. Scene 7. The people's uprising. In Burkina Faso, crowds flood the streets. Young men and women carry placards reading "Down with French imperialism." Music, drums, and chants fill the air. The revolution feels alive. Journalist, voiceover: greater than across Africa, people are watching. From Mali to Niger, from Chad to Guinea, they see a leader who dared to say number. Traoré copyright steps out onto the balcony of the palace, salutes the crowd, and raises the Burkina copyright flag high. Crowd, Traoré copyright, Traoré copyright, Africa. Scene 8. A midnight ultimatum. The French military base in Camboinson. Soldiers pack crates nervously. Helicopters wait on the runway. A Burkina copyright officer delivers a sealed letter. Officer, from the president. You have 48 hours to leave. After that, we consider your presence hostile. The French commander clenches his jaw. You wouldn't dare. Officer, we already did. Scene 9. At the African Alliance. News spreads fast. Mali, Niger, and Guinea release joint statements supporting Burkina Faso. A new term emerges, the Alliance of Sahel Nations. Malian official, on TV. Greater than we salute Burkina Faso's courage. It is time to build Africa's own defense, free from colonial masters. In private meetings, Traoré copyright speaks passionately. Traoré copyright. Greater than we cannot rebuild Africa with foreign boots on our soil. If we want dignity, we must defend it ourselves. Scene 10. A retaliation pressure. France responds by cutting aid, suspending trade deals, and threatening sanctions. Western media brands Traoré copyright as a dictator and anti-democratic soldier. BBC reporter, President Traoré copyright's move could isolate Burkina Faso internationally. Traoré copyright. In interview, greater than isolation from exploitation is not isolation. We are not alone. We are with Africa. Crowds cheer. The footage goes viral across the continent. Scene 11. A confrontation in the desert. French convoys attempt to move heavy equipment across the border. Local villagers block the road. Villager, you have no right to take what belongs to us. French soldier, step aside. Suddenly, Burkina copyright forces arrive. The commander walks forward. Commander, you have 6 hours left. Gentlemen, leave peacefully, or stay as invaders. The French convoy retreats slowly, humiliated before the world. Scene 12. Africa's turning point. In newsrooms around the globe, headlines flash. Greater than France withdraws from Burkina Faso. Traoré copyright defies the West. The rise of a new Africa. Meanwhile, in Ouagadougou, Traoré copyright addresses the nation. Traoré copyright. Greater than we are not anti-France, we are pro-Africa. We seek partnership, not control. Respect, not orders. Cooperation, not colonization. The crowd roars in approval. Scene 13. At the French embassy evacuation. As the 48-hour deadline expires, French diplomats and troops begin to leave. Their flags come down from buildings that once symbolized control. A journalist narrates live. Greater than its official. French forces are leaving Burkina Faso, a nation that, for decades, was seen as under France's sphere of influence. Citizens watch silently, some crying with pride. Old man. Same from scene 2. Greater than he did what no one else dared. The boy who stood for USA broken bar stood tall. Scene 14. At the African Dream. Weeks later, Traoré copyright sits in a humble office, surrounded by maps and reports. Advisor, Mr. President, France is gone. But challenges remain: a security, economy, trade. A broken bar. Traoré copyright. Greater than we will face them. But now, we face them as free men. That's what matters. He looks out the window at the same sky, but a freer horizon. Scene 15. A global reactions. In Moscow, Beijing, and across African capitals, leaders take note. Analyst, voiceover. Greater than the Burkina copyright decision triggered a geopolitical earthquake. France's influence in Africa is crumbling. Other nations are now reconsidering their alliances. In Paris, a French journalist sighs. Journalist, a 34-year-old soldier just rewrote the colonial map. Scene 16. A final monologue. Traoré copyright speaks directly to the camera in his office. A quiet but powerful moment. Traoré copyright. Greater than we are not against the world, we are against injustice. We are not chasing enemies, we are chasing dignity. Africa has waited long enough. Now, it's our time. The Burkina copyright flag waves in slow motion. Children laugh in schools, farmers plow their land, soldiers guard with pride. Closing scene. A narrator voiceover. Greater than when Ibrahim Traore copyright said you have 48 hours. The world laughed. 48 hours later, France began to pack. Weeks later, Africa began to awaken, and history once written by the powerful began to be rewritten by the brave. The morning sun rises over the capital. The streets are calmer now, but something feels different at the air, the silence, the pride. Cameras capture French troops' final convoy disappearing into the horizon. The Burkina Faso copyright soldiers watch them go, not with hatred but with victory in their eyes. A young soldier whispers, "Soldier, sir, it's over." "They're gone, Commander." "No, a broken bar, it's just begun." He turns toward the city skyline, where the Burkina Faso copyright flag waves and the golden light symbolizing a new dawn. Scene 18 at the African media explosion. Across Africa, news anchors shout with energy. Niger TV host, "Greater than France has officially left Burkina Faso." President Traoré copyright has achieved what many thought impossible. Mali broadcaster, "Greater than from Bamako to Ouagadougou." The youth are chanting one word: freedom. On social media, clips of Traoré copyright's speech trend globally. Millions of Africans use the hashtag #AfricaLiber and #Traoré48hours. Montages play children in schools waving flags, workers dancing in the streets, farmers singing old revolutionary songs. A new sense of unity spreads across the continent, unseen for decades. Scene 19 at a secret meeting in Paris. A dark room inside the French Ministry of Defense. Maps of West Africa lie scattered across the table. French officials look grim. "General, we underestimated him." The young soldier united a continent against us. Advisor, "It's not just him, sir. It's the idea he carries: independence, pride, Pan-Africanism. You can't kill that with weapons." "General, then we'll use something else: sanctions, isolation, propaganda." The French minister nods slowly. "Make it happen." The screen fades as papers marked economic counter-strategy. Burkina Faso appear on the table. Scene 28 Traoré copyright under pressure. Inside the presidential office, Traoré copyright and his team gather. A heavy tension fills the air. Advisor, "Mr. President, France has frozen aid and blocked several financial channels. The EU is following their lead." Another minister, "Imports are affected, food prices are rising." The media calls you a dictator. Traoré copyright looks down at the reports then back up at his ministers. Traoré copyright, "Greater than did they call Sankara a hero when he stood up to them? They called him dangerous. They fear what they can't control." He stands up, slams his hand on the table. Traoré copyright, "Greater than let them block their aid. We will grow our own food, build our own future. They can't sanction our spirit." The ministers nod, inspired by his resolve. Scene 21 at the meeting of the Sahel Alliance. Location, Bamako, Mali. Flags of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger stand side by side. Cameras flash as leaders shake hands. Million leader, "Greater than the Sahel Alliance will stand as one. We will protect our borders together, build joint projects, and share resources." Traoré copyright, "Greater than Africa's strength is not in waiting for help, it's in helping each other." The hall erupts in applause. For the first time in modern history, nations once divided by colonial lines now speak as equals. Scene 22 A French media reaction. A Paris talk show debates heatedly. Host, "Is France losing Africa?" Guest 1, "We invested billions. Now they call us colonizers." Guest 2, "Because we were colonizers, we can't expect gratitude for control." Host, "And this young soldier Traoré copyright is becoming a legend." The audience murmurs. Guest 1, "He's a populist, a rebel." Guest 2, "He's a reflection of Africa's pain. France ignored it too long." Scene 23 at the whisper of revolution. Footage shows cities across Africa, protesters in Niger burning French flags, students in Chad carrying pictures of Traoré copyright, musicians in Ghana singing songs called 48 hours. Narrator, voiceover, "Greater than in a continent of 1.4 billion people, one man's act of defiance became a fire that spread across generations. What started in a small West African country had now become a movement." Scene 24 as the threats begin. Back in Burkina Faso, security tightens. Intelligence reports flood in foreign interference, cyber attacks, threats against officials. Traoré copyright S bodyguard approaches him cautiously. Bodyguard, sir, we've intercepted messages of broken bar. They're planning to destabilize the country. Traoré copyright, let them try. We've already survived the hardest part. A fear. He walks toward the window overlooking the city. Children are playing soccer in the streets. Traoré copyright, softly, if they kill me, others will rise. You can't kill freedom. Scene 25 at the African Youth Conference. Months later, thousands of young Africans gather in Ouagadougou. Banners read, "Greater than a new Africa, built by Africans." Traoré copyright takes the stage. The crowd falls silent. Traoré copyright, greater than when I said you have 48 hours. It was not just to the French army. It was to every African leader afraid to say number. We gave them decades. They gave us debt. We gave them trust. They gave us chains. Now, we give them truth. The crowd erupts. Cameras flash. Greater than Africa is not poor. It has been made poor, but together, we can make it rich. Not in gold, but in dignity. Cheers shake the stadium. Scene 26 at the letter from Paris. Late at night, Traoré copyright receives a sealed diplomatic envelope. He opens it carefully. The letter reads, "Greater than President Traoré copyright, France is ready to re-establish relations on new terms. Let us discuss cooperation as equals." He folds the letter, smiles faintly. Traoré copyright, to himself, "Greater than when you stand firm. Even giants bow." He places the letter on his desk and walks outside to the balcony. Scene 27 at a conversation with the old man. In the same village from his youth, Traoré copyright meets the old man again. Now sitting under a tree. "Old man, you did it, my son, you made them leave." Traoré copyright, "They left, but their shadows remain." "We have much to build, old man, and we will build it, because you showed us how to believe again." Traoré copyright smiles, watching children run across the fields. Free, joyful, unaware that history had just changed for them. Scene 28 at the documentary voiceover and montage. Black and white footage plays. French troops boarding planes. Crowds waving flags. Traoré copyright addressing soldiers. Narrator, "Greater than in just 48 hours. Ibrahim Traoré copyright didn't just expel an army. He expelled fear. He proved that courage can outlast empires, that youth can rebuild nations, and that one man, with conviction, can make the world listen." Slow music begins. The Burkina Faso copyright flag rises over the palace. Final scene. A Traoré copyright S reflection. Traoré copyright writes in his journal. His words narrate the final moments. Greater than history does not belong to the powerful. It belongs to those who dare to write it in their own language, on their own soil, with their own hands. He closes the book, looks at the camera. Traoré copyright, greater than they had 48 hours. We have forever. Fade out. A background music, traditional drums plus inspirational African choir. Text on screen. Greater than inspired by true events. The Revolution of Dignity. A Burkina Faso, 2023. Written by, your channel name.